I'm going to make a very simple request to Donald Trump. Mr. Trump, please focus on talking about manufacturing. Here's why I state that if you're going to continue this high level position you have in the polls, which equates to a high platform, you might as well do something really constructive with it, as opposed to, the insults that get communicated. Here is my suggestion. Let me rephrase that. Here's my plea. For the past 30 years, the United States has watched in horror and done nothing as many parts of its once grand heavy industry have been offshored. You know this to be true. All in the search of cheap labor, all contributing to the development of something we call the International Division of Labor. What does that mean for those of you who are lay persons and didn't go to Berkeley Planning School? It means this. The International Division of Labor means I have one person in China making goods, another person in Morocco making goods, another person in Japan designing the goods, another person in America financing the goods. The International Division of Labor. The best example I like to use is in the form of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It consists of parts made in 96 different countries, with a final assembly point being here in the United States. It used to be Everett, Washington. I'm not sure if it's Everett, Washington anymore, or Virginia, or South Carolina, wherever they built their newest plant. But the bottom line is, the 747, when it was made and rolled out in 1971, was made entirely, well, almost entirely in the United States. And I say the almost because, as a caveat, it may be that part that was made someplace else, like France or Europe, that I'm not aware of. But I do know the vast majority of parts for the 747 were made right here in the United States. That was then. That's not true today. What you need to lay out is pure and simple an industrial policy. And then in doing so, you need to take that industrial policy plan and tie it to the need to reduce the incidence of domestic violence occurrences, of shootings, and everything else that have plagued our society. And for one reason. Laid out in an excellent book I want you to read, copyright 1979, called Why Manufacturing Matters, by Robert Reich and John Zeisman at UC Berkeley. John Zeisman's a great guy, except for that time he tried to hit on my girlfriend. At any rate, the bottom line is this. The book explains the connection between lost jobs and high unemployment and underemployment and the rise of crimes like domestic violence at that time. We didn't have the spate of mass shootings that we have today. But my point is that if people, regardless of skill, had access to jobs that paid them enough money to feed a family of four today, we would have fewer problems. You need to make that connection because, to be frank with you, us Democrats haven't done it. That's the main problem. We need to get back to creating not just jobs, but creating a powerful new manufacturing base.